This is, who are we? KnittinJenna and the Crazy Cat Lady. Okay, I don't know what episode this is. Is this 3?
3.
This one's called Shout Out.
Yep.
We got a lot to shout out.
Oh, man. Okay, let's start. We'll start what we're wearing. Korey is wearing this beautiful orange color.
I know, isn't it bright?
I know. I have a moment. I'm having a moment. Okay, I am wearing a sweater that I bought at Eddie Bauer about 10 years ago under some really nice overalls that I bought off Amazon. And I do have something knitted on. It is called the Passe-partout, and it is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I knit it out of, yep, 2 colors of, shoot, I had it in my head and it's gone.
I'm sitting here playing with the yarn that's caught in the zipper.
I know. I'm going to come back to it. It's a single ply. It was a really fun pattern.
It really is. I made that pattern too because I saw that you did it. I did mine out of Miss Babs.
Oh, did you?
I'll have to dig it out. But anyway,
I'll put it in the show notes. Okay, and I got Easter earrings on because you know we had an egg hunt today, and it was fun.
Darn, did she do good?
Oh, yeah. Well, first she just took off running in the general direction of all the other children running. And then we pointed out that there were eggs and she picked a few up. So, but it was good. There was donuts afterwards. She had a great time.
Okay, we're going to start with the shout outs because let us say first, whenever we say the shop, we're always talking about Yarncom. And when we say Heather, we're talking about Heather Swan, the owner of Yarncom. That's our local yarn store. So I know a lot of times I say the shop. Okay, it's not the shop. It is Yarncom. Okay, so my lovely friend Heather gave me a little bit of flack about not having everything ready to discuss the Midwest Fiber Festival. So I'm going to hold it up right away. Okay, Midwest Fiber Fest.
April 28th, Friday, April 28th through Sunday, April 30th. It's at the St. Louis Community College Meremac Campus, which is in Kirkwood, which is a suburb of St. Louis. There's supposed to be like 48 vendors in the vendor market. It's free to get into the vendor market. There's 3 days of classes. It's all sorts. There's like knit, crochet, embroidery, weaving, sewing, basket weaving, and spinning, and like just fiber. There's just a lot. There's a lot of classes. You should go to the website and check it out. They have been open for a while, so I don't know if they're still full. I have a 2-year-old and will not be attending any of those classes. And this one over here has enough going on in her life. She doesn't need another class. It was hard enough to get her to buy into the Brioche class.
Yeah, no, so I probably won't go. I didn't even look, but hey, look, I'm sure they have some good classes. Class registration has started, and there you go. You can register, see what they still have.
MidwestFiberFest.com.
So, my good friend Heather cannot give us any more trouble about that. There it is.
Okay.
And she's a local celebrity because they had her on TV discussing it this week on the news. So she's our local celebrity now.
Speaking of events, the 2 of us, plus our friend Tammy and my mom Jimmy, we all attended a class at Yarncom on Tuesday with Ellen of Knit How. And the name of our class, we talked about it last time, was Brioche 101. And it was very informative and really laid back, but really good, I thought.
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought Ellen knew, like, she was a great teacher. She, hit the
whined.
high points, had our tricks and tips.
Yes, she put up with me whining and complaining. She showed me how to even pick up my drop stitch in Brioche.
Yeah.
And then I whined and complained that I wanted to do more. So she showed me how to cable in Brioche. Now, I'm not sure I will be able to do any of that ever again without her help. But I feel like I learned a lot for the 2-hour class.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So Korey did her project in that yarn bee, the really bright pink and yellow. And then immediately before we even left, pulled it out because I don't know, it wasn't living like you wanted it to live, right?
Yeah. But I will do a brioche. I definitely will do a brioche project.
So I ended up using this Malabrigo Rios in the Holly Hock colorway and the green apple colorway. Rios is Malabrigo. It's 100%. Nope. Yep. It is pure merino superwash. It's 100 grams, 210 yards. Made in Peru. This was some deep stash. It came from a shop that was here, Notorious, before they closed. But I had the best time with these colors. I think they're really fun and bright. I cast on some extra stitches, and this is going to be a cowl for Molly because these colors just scream Molly. But really fun because with the two colors, I find it easier to figure out where I am in the round and like what I should be doing after I pick it up. But that means we're gonna have to knit. I want to knit that Harlow.
I think I want to knit the Harlow too.
Okay, the Andrea
I'm not gonna
Mowry.
make the Andrea Mowry funny face.
No,
I'm gonna act right.
but we are gonna knit the Harlow or the Harlow worsted. I think I'll do the Harlow worsted so I can match Molly, like, so then she can have like a matching cowl and hat. I should have enough yarn. I mean, she's small.
Yeah, she's a little person.
Yeah, so pattern at the ready. And
Is
then,
it supposed to come to a cone? I'm not sure I want to look like a cone head. Am I going to look like a cone
no,
head?
I think as long as you try, and that's the beauty of it. You can try it on and like
Okay.
start your decreases, I think, when you want.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think her decreases, like, look how cool these are. They're like a cool square.
That is cool.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice hat. And then I have the Harlow, regular Harlow pattern, which is at a fingering weight that I have dived into my stash for me to have one. Yeah, but same principle, just smaller yarn. You're not missing anything. I think they're both like $6 or $7 on Ravelry or on her website.
And what, Dre Renee?
Yeah, Drea Renee Knits. Anyway, those are plans. Those have not been cast on. Okay. So should we tell you about our whips? Do you have whips or are you
got
doing
one.
faux?
I got one.
Korey has a
I
whip.
have a whip.
Okay.
Technically, I have two. I mean, I started it, but I never did anything else with it.
That's okay.
I've only got that one row for that sweater that you're almost finished with.
No, I am not.
But no,
almost
I
finished.
do have a whip. I have a sock. Actually, you know, I do my socks, what do you call it? Tandem. So, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, you just cast these on, didn't you? Like not long ago, because you finished that other pair.
Look, I'm halfway organized. I cast them on a 326.
Ooh.
So
Okay, tell us what
I'm halfway
what's happening.
organized.
What's it made out of?
It is made out of, I don't know. It's made out of Malabrigo. This colorway is terracotta. I know it because, you know, it's my favorite color. It's one of your favorite colors. I think you got me hooked to terracotta. So it's made out of Malabrigo terracotta sock yarn, and I'm just gonna double triple check myself because the yarn ball is in the middle somewhere. It's in here. It's gonna come out, maybe.
I love that
Not
orange.
so much. This orange is good. I am right. It is terracotta.
Yeah, girl.
Okay. What is it called? 802? And it is their sock yarn. Fingering. 100% superwash merino. So, it's great color. Great color.
I feel like it's showing up pretty true, too. Okay, so tell us about your pattern.
The pattern, that's what I meant to. The pattern is the Crazy Sock Lady. She has a ton of tutorials out there on YouTube, and it's initially her basic sock pattern. That's how I learned how to knit a sock, was watching her. And then what I did was, I've done 1 million basic socks last year, so I decided to branch out just a little bit. And this is one of my lovely sock books that I've picked up at the Half Price bookstore.
I love that place.
I do too. And This came from the knitting library of Jane Mark. And you know I love a book with a note or a sticky note in it. And it had a sticky note, and I was attracted, and lo and behold, it has notes from where she wrote in here where she made socks. It's just a gem, a treasure, you know. And then I started digging through the shelf to get everything that from her library. She was an amazing woman. I even looked her up, and she was quite an amazing woman in the St. Louis area. She started an organization with women to help women in business. She was just, she seemed like she was amazing. I wish I could have met her. We would have been friends.
Well, I feel like you have met her.
I do too.
Through her library.
Through her library.
That's really neat. That's a cool way to kind of...
So there was a pattern in there, and so I decided to put that pattern on the leg and down the top of the foot, just to change it up a little bit, because I've already made a basic sock for my nephew. I think I made his out of blue with this orange for the heel, toe, and cuff. And he was like, I need a whole sock in that orange. He liked it so well. So of course, he's my number one nephew. He gets whatever he wants. And then, okay, I'm going to bend down now, which I just love. I love it when podcasters do that. The heel, toe, and cuff is Wildfoot in black. It's a little more rugged sock yarn. It's got a little more, I don't know, girth to it, for lack of a better word.
Like kind of toothy?
It's a little thicker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I really like this for the heels, toes, and cuffs. I feel like it'd be wear a little better.
Yeah.
So that's my whip. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. Well, I showed you my brioche whip. We talked last time about how she had 3 whips going and that was too many, and I had 3 whips going and that was not enough. So I have cast on more things. But so I'm gonna talk. I'll
That's hilarious. You cast on more things, and I'm so
she's
happy
trying-
I
she's
finished
like,
up.
"Yes,
I finished up things.
I know. I did post on our Instagram that cowl that you finished, because I know you took it into the shop already.
Yes.
Into Yarncom already. So.
And I loved that pattern. Let me
Yeah.
say, I did finish that. I loved the pattern, but we figured out the mystery of why I ran out of yarn. We'll talk about that.
We'll get there. We'll talk about, well, because actually whenever I'm going to save that sweater for last, because I want to talk about problems.
Okay.
And that can be part of the problems.
That can be part of my problem.
Okay, so I have found that I usually give Molly, my daughter, her bath, and like sis loves bath time. Loves it so much, like gets in there, wants to play. Like we get in there, wash her hair, wash her body, and then it's like, all right, now you can just play in the bubbles, and she has great bath toys, whatever. So in an effort to like let her just play and not like count the minutes till she has to get out, I decided to start, I'm calling it her bath time socks. And really it's just one sock. So I have some Opal, 100 grams, 425 meters. It's wool and polyamide. And this is...
What is it? I was going to say, why does that look like deep stash?
Deep stash. Girl.
The poor little label is crackled.
We are knitting deep stash.
We are knitting through our stash. Yes, we are.
So this colorway is called, I just had it. Oh, Conservation Week. It's 726A, and it's inspired by Conservation Week from 1974, New Zealand. Listen, I like all the fun colors. Look, this is the cool thing about Opal. They put up what it's supposed to look like on there. And like, it is kind of living that. So I went ahead, I cast on 72 stitches. I did a 2x2 rib for about 20 rows. And then now I am knitting just straight stockinette. I am using 3 double points, and I'm just gonna knit, I haven't decided. I'm either gonna knit one really long tube like we did that time. I know you're saying no.
Mm.
But because we talked about trying that afterthought gusseted heel.
Oh, I got to figure that out this week.
So my thought is if I just, like these are in the, like literally they're in this bag. This is a bird leg bag that I got from a kit when I ordered from Post Yarns. I don't know. A long time ago, but I love it. It glows in the dark.
I was going to say, tell them about that.
It glows in the dark. I didn't know that. And I had it like, I had a project in it and it was sitting next to my bed. Turned the lights off and like I rolled over and I was like, oh, what is that? There's little ghosts and it's really fun.
It's a cute little boxy bag. I like boxy bags work really well for a sock project.
Yeah.
They're like the
just
perfect
like
size to
one
hold
skein.
your socks.
Yeah. So I'm leaving that in my daughter's bathroom in the windowsill. And I'm only knitting on these when like she's playing in the bathtub. And it's, you know, just go round and round. I prefer if I'm going to use double points just to use 3. I feel like it's less needles to manage and you still get the same
You told me that.
thing. I know.
I think I was trying to use 4 and I was like, this is horrible. And you told me just use 3.
4 is too much personally for me. I know some knitters enjoy that. These are those great signature needles that Korey got me for my birthday a long time ago, but they're the little stiletto points. I think they're, would you say that's 4 or 5 inches?
Oh, I don't know. We could always just
It's a
measure
4
it.
or 5 inch double
We
point.
could always measure it.
I'm not measuring that right now.
Okay.
So that's a pair of socks. I still have my Mistletoe Kisses socks from Turtle Pearl Yarns. They haven't really grown a whole lot. These I keep in my purse. But it's cool to see the stripes coming along.
I like the stripes. I like the color of the stripes.
Yeah.
I like that not Christmassy green that's in there.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And she just had a big update. In fact, I think she's running a sale on her website for a couple more days. Turtle Pearl Yarns. She's got some fun stuff. I do, like I said, I'm knitting the stash, so I'm not gonna buy anymore. And that's living in that Bink waffle bag that we talked about last time. Two more whips.
Look at you. She's like, hold on. Just a couple more.
Okay. I think last time we talked, I had talked to you about doing a sweater for the baby that I am currently growing. And that I have not cast that on yet. I don't know. I knit that hat. I'll show you that in photos. But I found this really cute pattern. It's called the Baby Honey Blanket by Craftling Designs. It is not free. But I was looking at baby blankets the other day and I was like, this is a really fun one. And it's neat because it's got this honeycomb pattern on there, but it's asymmetrical. So you can't really see it on there. Yeah. I'll show you the schematic. Like, but you can see how like the hexagons just kind of live on there and like a kind of, it looks almost willy-nilly, but I think it's very intentional. So I decided I had one skein of this. It's this Elysian yarns, or Elysian by Cascade Yarns. It's a worsted weight, 60% superwash merino, 40% acrylic, 100 grams, 219 yards. So a worsted weight. But when I'm looking at it, it feels thinner than a worsted weight. But when I started knitting it, it definitely is. It's color number 50. So I went back and bought more because I thought this with a honeycomb blanket, yes.
That's perfect.
So fun and like gender neutral because we don't know. So I went ahead and cast it on the other day and I'm into my second row of hexagons and it's fun. It's fun. It's like you're just doing a couple little twisted stitches as they travel, but otherwise it's garter stitch in the background. I'm using the US size 8. I think the pattern calls for a 7. The yarn I initially thought would use a 6. That just didn't look right. So moving right along on that. All right.
fix a stitch. Okay.
Korey's gonna fix the stitch, and then
You got more whips, right?
I got one more whip, but we're gonna. It's gonna. This is
the whip parade.
This is problems.
Okay.
We're gonna take a pause here. We're not gonna talk about whips or foes. This will actually be a really great segue. We'll start in whips with problems, and then we'll segue into a finished object with a problem.
Okay. So
and then we can explore our fun finished objects.
why was it a problem?
Okay.
What did it do to you?
So, you remember we talked about the Winter's Beach cardigan that I'm knitting, and how we discovered that crazy drop stitch in the middle back panel
that you fixed. You fixed it, right?
I fixed it. Okay. I fixed it. So what I ended up doing is I had
there's a butt coming.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had one stitch that I had dropped, and it was literally almost 30 rows down.
But it was fixed lovely, beautifully. So
okay.
What was the problem?
So I ended up dropping the stitch next to it and dropping it all the way down because in those 30 rows, there wasn't enough yarn in between the stitches to ladder up a stitch. Like,
so
I tried. I dropped the
to
neighbor stitch all the way down.
To get a little more slack.
Yes,
get some slack on one.
I could share the yarn for one stitch between two stitches.
Okay.
Right?
And it looked lovely.
It did not look lovely.
It looked lovely on the presenting side.
Anyway, I used a size 5 needle. This needle that I'm using for the project is an 8. So I used a 5 because that's what I could get in there.
So you still weren't satisfied with how the back side looked that nobody was going to see.
So the front side, it ended up, you could see like the stitches, 2 stitches on either side of, it was like a 6-stitch wide little like patch of stitches for 30 rows that were noticeably smaller. Like imagine your gauge for a size 5 versus your gauge for a size 8.
So you're telling me that if somebody had been galloping by on a horse while you were wearing the sweater, they would have noticed.
Yes, especially if they had a keen eye for knitwear.
I do not think anybody would have noticed.
So anyway, and it looked worse on the purl side because those purl bumps were just like, and then so I was like, maybe it'll just be fine. Maybe it'll block out. Maybe I can just live my life.
It would have blocked out.
She says that. I don't believe it. And so I put it out there to Instagram, and people were like, oh yeah, I think it'll block out. Someone suggested, 2 people suggested steam blocking it. And I was like, I don't think there's enough yarn for that stitch to relax into. So
let's be clear.
At this point, I had done 10 more rows on top of that.
Jenna might have been the problem. But anyway, so you went back.
It's me.
Undid 10 neighboring stitches.
20. I did a patch of 20
neighboring
stitches. Dropped them down.
To get slack. This is like the Buc-ee's gas chain. You need slack on all the pumps. Have you ever seen that silly Kevin Hart commercial where he's like, slack on one?
Oh,
you need slack on all the pumps. Yeah. So now you've done 20 stitches.
I dropped it
and dropped down 30 rows.
40. Because I did 10 more rows hoping it would just I would just be able to let it go. And I couldn't. I got to the point and I was about to put it down for the night and I looked down and it was just like in the middle of the sweater.
You couldn't even sleep.
I was like, I can't do this.
That's
so
hilarious.
I was like debating. Instagram did not.
That's hilarious.
People were like, just steam block it. I was like, I cannot just steam block this. Who else? I wrote into the Drea Renee Knits podcast hoping she would answer me because my thought was like if I could just share that little bit of yarn that one stitch needed over a greater number of stitches, then I could get it without it really messing with that gauge. So, and not wanting to have to redo this again, I took 20 stitches dropped them down, and started
That's-
picking them back up. And you know what? It looks great. I have about 10 more stitches to go, or 10 more rows to go. I ran out of gas yesterday, like mentally, physically, for doing this. So and I'm picking them up on a size 8 needle, so that at least it's not the needle that's giving me the wacky gauge. You know,
Well,
yeah. So some of the edge stitches are a little wonky, right? As you would expect. I've been kind of like, I'll do 2 stitches, pick up front side, flip it over, do 2 rows, not stitches. Pick it up on the back side. I think now when I block it, I think that'll even out those little weird 1 or 2 stitches. But y'all, it was like 6 stitches, 30 rows. Like it was.
I can't believe you let that bother you so much.
Well, listen.
But as long as you're happy.
But I've come to a place where like I want to make sweaters for myself, and I want to be proud of them, and I want to wear them, and I want it to be good. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just make sweaters for myself," and they just like whip them out, and they're just like done, and they wear them all the time, and I'm like, it has taken me so long to be like, all right, I'm gonna knit a sweater for you saw the journey of the last 2 sweaters I showed you. Like one of them, the big green one, took me freaking 5 years to knit. Like,
But it's lovely.
it's great, but like 5 years, that's ridiculous. So this I'm trying to get in the March to May KAL that she's doing. And so like essentially knitting a sweater in 2 months. Well, 3 because it was a whip, but and I want to wear it. I'm really excited about it.
I guess I should get on it, huh?
Only if you
tell me
only if
something that
she's
I'm not
feeling
ever
it.
gonna do it. I should concentrate.
But if you don't want to knit it, don't knit it. Knitting time is too valuable to spend time knitting something you don't want to knit. All right, so that's my problem. It is in the process of being fixed. Next time I'm just going to go with my gut, and I will not ask people questions. I just wanted some confirmation that I wasn't crazy, but I'm a little crazy. So
I was trying to see. That's
Okay.
your problem. Did we do any?
that was my problem.
Oh, okay. Problems.
And then you're doing, no, here's your faux plus the problem. And then
okay.
we'll talk about faux.
Okay, so I told you about the cowl. It's the wonky rib. It's a Malabrigo. Lovely. Let's get the shine. Malabrigo pattern. I mean, I finished it. She posted it on Instagram. I blocked it. This was made out of Malabrigo Aurora DK. It says DK to Sport Superwash Wool. And what is the color? 683. Okay. Loved the pattern. Now, you know, I'm a brave knit chick. I don't block. I don't swatch. I swatched for this. And I got gauge. And so I proceed to knit. But because it was a sample knit for Yarncom, for Heather, I swatched. I wanted to act right. I wanted to, you know, do the right thing.
You had to take
And
good
so-
notes too. You couldn't just go back in there.
Right.
Because, like, it's a shop sample. If people come in and they're like, hey, I want to make that, you want to be like, yes, so-and-so knit this on a size such and such needle using this pattern, using this much yarn.
Right.
If you want this product, this is what you do.
Right. And so I was gung-ho.
Yeah. It's good business practice. It's good business practice.
And then I called you crying because I'm like, I'm going to run out of yarn.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
talked
way
about
I'm
this
not
last
going to
time.
run out of yarn. So then I measured how much yarn it was taking me on each round. And I'm like, I'm going to run out of yarn. So we were in the shop, and I got on Heather's nerves so bad. She went and got another skein of yarn and wound it into a cake for me. She's like, here. And I'm like, okay. So it was just bothering me so much. And then you said, how much does the finished product weigh? And when you said that, and I weighed it, and the finished product weighed 199 grams, I was like, wait a minute. I had 2 skeins of yarn, and then I remembered I had weighed the yarn because I wanted to know exactly how much yarn I had used. And I had weighed each one of the skeins, and one was 97 grams and one was 98 grams.
Time out. That says 100. That says 100 grams. Okay.
And I would not have run out of yarn because I ran out with 2 1/4 rows. I would not have ran out of yarn had they been full 100 gram skeins of yarn, because the finished product wasn't even a full 200 grams.
Yeah.
So I felt better, just slightly better, that I was not the loser that I thought I was.
Okay, just put that on your list. You're a loser if you lose yarn chicken. Like, that's literally what's happening here.
You're all right. I played yarn chicken, right? And I lost, and I was so distraught over it. I really aggravated. I mean, poor Heather. She was like, here's just another skein. And I was like, but no, I couldn't figure out, why did I run out? And that's why I ran out. But let me say, I enjoyed the pattern very much. The repeat of the pattern was very intuitive. You look down. Once you get into the rhythm, you know what's coming on the next round. You know how to read the knitting. You know what to do. And for you know how I am about yarn overs. You know, sometimes I blow past them and forget them. No, I remembered my yarn overs, and I loved the pattern. I would definitely knit the pattern again. But measure your yarn.
Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder, because like we said last time, there were folks who had posted also on Ravelry with their projects that they had run out of yarn. And so it makes you wonder, like, is that a normal thing? And so now I'm curious, should we weigh all of our
But I'm happy you told me to weigh the finished product, and it was 199 grams. I was like, I'm not a loser.
You're so silly.
I just lose a yarn chicken.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so another finish. Yeah.
Oh.
She'll find her Passe. It's okay.
I finished my hat.
Yeah.
Maybe
You finished your black hat?
Diagonal rib stitch knit hat for my mother-in-law. I do need to find out if she wants a pom-pom or not, but I did finish it. It feel that. It feels amazing.
Oh yeah.
It feels amazing.
That's nice.
She wanted black. I don't know why. It's gonna collect every little piece of lint in the world. It smells good too, because I soaked it. So I finished the hat.
Very nice.
Pretty proud of myself. Now she wanted this, I think, for winter, for Christmas. Well, she's ready for this coming year.
We'll give it to her now, and she can bust it out on the first cold day.
I might call it a Mother's Day gift. I finished my socks for my godson. See, look, I've been finishing stuff. I'm so excited.
So these are the 3 whips that had to get off the needles.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Oh, these non-matchy socks.
Yes, they're siblings, not twins.
It's so funny to me that most of my socks are that way. I think I have like 1 pair of actual matching socks. And it's only because it was that mustache, and that's how she winds them. She leaves it separate so that you can wind it into 2 matching balls.
So I'm pleased I got that done.
Okay. So you guys saw last time I finished Molly's hat. And we have baby hat also finished.
It's so cute.
Tiny baby hat. That was my finish.
It's so cute.
This was out of Broco Vintage. It's the Copycat CC beanie pattern. Technically, I don't use it. I just use kind of her general pattern notes and her decrease sequence for it, but I do less rows of stuff because it's a smaller hat than you would use for a grown-up.
Hey, you know what? I always get stuck at the beginning when I think it says do tubular cast on. I'm like,
well, so for the littles, for little kids, I do not do the double brim. I just do a single brim because reasonable. She's gonna these babies, these littles, wear this for a season. And when they're this little, I mean, they're not outside that long. So I don't feel like they need the double brim. And sometimes they're too big anyway, so you just roll it up and they get a double brim anyway. But like for like an adult hat, I will do it. I'll do the double thick brim, just because I feel like it'll live longer than a season or two. So those are finishes. I think next we need to talk about
yeah, pregnancy brain's real, huh?
Oh my gosh. Acquisitions, because since I've been doing deep stash because I haven't been buying anything. Well, I bought some stuff, and this time, well, I mean, she's buying stuff too. Her birthday's next week. Woo, 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 woo.
I did buy some stuff.
So she bought some stuff for her birthday.
But it's a mystery.
We won't know until...
Look, but I bought it just so you could see. It's a mystery.
She hasn't even shown me
mystery.
or the rest of us. She posted the other day in our group.
There we go. Mustache. And it's a mystery.
In our group chat, she posts that picture. These 4 skeins.
Yes.
All wrapped up. And I'm like, okay, you gonna show it? She's like, nope. Nope.
Nope. It's a mystery.
Nope. So
nothing wrong with a good mystery.
Yeah.
I will let you know. But look at that mustache. Look at this right here. I'm going to do this.
Oh, that sweater.
I'm going to do that sweater. I showed the skeins before arms. I'm going to do that sweater. It's mustard. God love it.
She does a beautiful job.
You just gotta love it. It's some beautiful yarn.
Danger if you subscribe to her email newsletter.
No.
You get a email every Tuesday.
No.
With her new colorways and stuff that she drops. Unlike as we're approaching the Easter season, so she has all these really cute Easter ones, and like I fell into that last year. That's why she has some of that.
No.
And, like I have some up there at the top. But that's what happens. I'll get that newsletter and I'm like, do I need that? Maybe.
I am not going to subscribe to that.
Well, that one, I've subscribed to a few. Okay. Here's my acquisition. It is the Pom Pom Quarterly from autumn 2019. Because I want to knit, I'll show you, the Trove sweater.
They look like they had a cute hat in there.
They probably do. But I had to buy that, so it was either, look how cute this is. I'm like real into that. I like the shoulders. I think it's gonna be really cute.
Here's the problem I have. I have the problem that your mother has. That is really cute. But now how do I, because it's like 1, 2, 3 contrasting colors and then a main color, so 4 colors. You know I can't do 4 colors. You know, anytime I have to do more than 2 colors, I have to have you help me. Okay. I would never be able to put together 4 colors that go together correctly. I would have to buy that exact configuration or I wouldn't be able to figure it out.
Remember this?
Oh,
that's what's going in there.
You got it all figured out. See, I can't do that.
I just need a main color. But you know what?
Girl, I would come out looking like, you'd be like, ooh, did you make that sweater for Molly?
No, what happened is I got okay, a Spas Tricot on their stuff, on their thing. on their Instagram. Oh my, why are the words so hard today?
I would have to buy that exact configuration or I would just have a mess.
Look,
it wouldn't be right.
So they post the other day, oh, first day of spring, blah, blah, blah. And look at this cute little situation they have going there. These cute little jeans, these little white shoes, and that sweater. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need that sweater. So what do? I go to Ravelry. You know, I can't find this book on Ravelry. You can buy the digital download. And I was like, but like the point of this is that it's a magazine.
Yeah.
And I want it.
And it's nice.
It is. It's a nice magazine.
It feels good.
So I went on Amazon and I found it on there, and this great little, there's a yarn shop apparently in Bradenton, Florida called Yarn Cloud, Florida. And they shipped me that. Yeah. So there's other, that's the other reason I went ahead and bought it, is because I was like, well, there's other stuff in here. Other acquisitions. You saw the patterns.
Look, I'm all sidetracked.
Oh, here's the other thing that got me the other day. Thank you, Susan B. Anderson and the Barrett Wool Co. Because this got me. Who immediately went to the website and bought both kits. There is clothes. It's a mouse and clothes, and it's 2 different mice, 2 different outfits.
That is so cute.
I bought 2 kits, you know, because I'm going to have 2 kids, and they both need mice.
With shoes.
Uh-huh.
And a scarf.
Like, how does that not get you? That's like marketing. Like, look at that.
That is nice. You just bought all the things.
They got me. They got me. So those are my acquisitions. That has not come in yet, which is why I just showed you that. But when it comes in, I'm going to knit it. I'm going to knit it fast. I'm going to knit it.
I didn't get got quite like that.
Oh, you got in a different way.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so I saw this. I had to get me and your mom one. It says, I don't hoard yarn. I just shop faster than I knit. I thought that was so cute.
I love that. There is no
people want to know where you got. Yeah. What is that? The language of the oppressor.
She was watching the Black Sheep Knitter the other day, and she texted. She's like, I bet you stopped that podcast.
I did. I did. I was laughing so hard when she said something about hoarding needles, and she's like, listen to me, using the language of the oppressor. I collected inside. I laughed so hard. I cannot wait until my husband says something about me and my yarn, so I can tell him that he is the oppressor. But this lovely little thermo is sublimation or something. Anyway, it's Shannon. I know Shannon. She's the Crazy Craft Ladies Creations, customized, personalized gifts. So there you go. You can reach out to her. Let me hide behind the card. She'll be more than happy to make you one. She has various different things that she can do it in, but I just thought that was so cute. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why it's shout out. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the other thing. Okay, so I guess everybody knows that Hobby Lobby has their clearance sale, and you can get a lot of yarn on clearance for really low prices. So now I know you're going to be wondering, we got a piece of fuzz on the, why in the world did I buy a hat? Well, it was on clearance, okay? And I like the way the hat turned up.
And that real deep rib. Or
yes.
That real deep brim.
So wait, I just bought the hat so that I could remember that I want to make a hat with the brim turned up, and that I want to do these little.
Ooh, the pearl bumps?
The pearl bumps. So that's the only reason why I really bought the hat, to remind myself that I want to do a real deep brim and I want to do the pearl bumps. And the hat was like, I don't know, $4.
You could have taken a picture.
Well, yeah, but I might lose the picture. So then, of course, they had, apparently Hobby Lobby is doing away with anything that's not Hobby Lobby branded yarn.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing away with all their patents. And, of course, they didn't have any left when I got there because I didn't stay on top of the clearance. But they had some. And I do have someone that I do want to knit another pair of socks for.
Girl, that is more than one pair of socks.
He has big feet.
You probably need 3 balls.
I may only need 3 balls.
But now you can knit 2 pairs.
But there you go. I can knit another man a pair.
Show them what you got.
and these balls cost $2.25 a piece. So there you go.
It is. What's the colorway? Brownies?
It is called, is it? Yeah. Brownies. Patents Brownies.
Love it.
Okay, so there you go.
There's sock yarn.
Sock yarn.
What's that made out of? Wait,
it's wool.
Now. Is it wool and something?
It might be. Yes, it's wool and something. It's wool and nylon. Jimmy might want a pair.
Hey.
To make some socks. You never know.
Oh my God, what are you doing? You are... I wish you could see that.
She's laughing at all my Sesame Street friends. Okay, here's my Sesame Street friends. They were $1.74.
Let me help you.
Why is she laughing at my Sesame Street friends? I got a whole bunch of little Sesame. Look at them. They were $1.74. How could I leave them? You know we have to do charity knits. We got to knit for a little bit, foundation, right?
Oh my gosh.
So there you go.
I love this.
I got to get started on my little bit.
Just take a moment. Can you just envision? So like you can't see our mess down below, but she has a bag over here. And she pulls out like 1, 2, 3. And they just keep coming. They just keep coming.
Did I buy all that they had left? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Well, so we got Abby.
Yeah, see, you know
we got
who they
Elmo.
are.
Come on now. We got Bert. And we got Ernie. And we got another Abby and 2 more Elmos. But like, these are from my childhood. I had the best book when I was a kid. It was called I Can Do It Myself by Bert and Ernie. They talked all about how you could, tie your own shoes and put on your own clothes and clean up put your own stuff away. Like,
so there we go. I don't know what you're gonna have, but I figure, little Miss Smiley needs one, yours needs one, and the rest is for little bits.
I love it. It tells you that's the name of the colorway.
Oh, is it?
Abby Cadabby.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention.
Elmo.
I just grabbed everything they had on the shelf.
You are so funny. I love it.
So
That's
that
so
was the Hobby Lobby clearance sale.
It's 100% polyester. It looks like it is a worsted weight, maybe a little bit bigger yarn.
They got a hat pattern on the inside.
Yeah, 95 yards, 70 grams.
I figure I can sit down on a Sunday of watching racing and get a hat done.
You could just put these on the machine.
I probably could. I probably could put it on the machine.
Crank that out.
And crank it out.
Uh-huh.
I probably could.
But
Didn't even think about that.
That is not even, this is not one hat on a Sunday watching racing. This, on the machine,
I can get that
she can get
done.
them all done.
There you go.
Okay.
That's all of my acquisitions.
Yeah. That was it. This was super shout out episode. Oh,
I did want to shout out my book.
Yeah, talk about this book.
Our
She's
good
been
friend
trying
Jenny.
to shout out this book for like
Our good friend Jenny.
3 episodes. Okay.
She told me about this book back in the summertime.
Oh.
And I bought the book, and it is Patty Lyon's Knitting Bag of Tricks. So, Jenny, you know who you are. I told you I was going to be shouting you out because I was going to talk about this book. And it is such an interesting book. It's not your stereotypical knit book, teach you how to knit. It's truly about knitting tricks. And it's just a bag of knitting tricks and teaching you how to do certain things. It does kind of explain the composition of your stitches so that you can kind of understand why your stitches present themselves the way they do on the needles. And then it talks about row gauge and, sweater construction, and of course the lovely knit two together versus the SSK, all of those lovely little things. So you know how sometimes you may not want to knit, but you want to do something knitting? And I just pull this book out and read a little bit, and it's cool. So I like it. You might want to get that.
Like whenever you can, as a knitter, like I think that's like just like a part of your journey is like whenever you can look at your knitting and you're like, this is this stitch, this is that stitch. This is why this looks that way. This is why this looks this way. Or like, this is why this looks different. And like, you can, like, you have that understanding of how things should look on your needles or in the fabric.
See, you're real good at that. That's why you're the knitting doctor.
But I think, thank you. That's a nice compliment. I appreciate that.
But that's why you know how to read knitting, and you can read other people's knitting and go, this is where you made the error, So I have been on the journey to better understand my knitting so that I can correct my knitting, because it gives you a lot of confidence when you do mess up. It's like, oh, I can fix it. You know?
Yeah. Or it's like, it's not so scary, right? Because I feel like I remember being a new knitter and like looking at it and just being like, what is this? Why is it, why? Like you would look at what you have and look at what the pattern is, or the pictures in the pattern, and you're like, that does not match, right? And like,
in our brioche class, she had said, we're going to say the last half hour and then I'm going to have you drop a stitch, because she wanted us to understand before we left that if you drop a stitch, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can fix it, So I appreciated that, that she taught us how to pick it up in brioche,
I think that's another knitting milestone. Whenever you make a mistake and you see it and like, you're like, I can fix this, instead of like, I have to rip it out and start over.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another big thing. And I think it comes from like just knitting and like looking at it. Like whenever you have stuff on the needles, like being curious enough to like look at what is happening there. I mean, and the other part is like, you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have
you're
to.
The boss of your knitting.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals, is to do that with cable. I have that instructions that show you how to actually cut your knitting and correct your cable, rather than having to drop all the way down. Sometimes you're too far gone to drop down, and they talk about, well, you can just cut the knitting, rip out, and correct your cable.
Now that gave me like roller coaster stomach.
You
know, like, well, because like I'm checking like on my sweater, because it's cables, right? I will, like, that's what I do after I knit, a chunk, 10, 20 rows. I'll like spread it out and look at it just to make sure things are doing what they're supposed to. So yes, like, because I'm not afraid to drop, maybe 2 crosses, right? But like the idea of like dropping those, 2 or 3 big repeats, like to just go down and fix that one would just have to live there. I guess if I felt better about cutting, but I'm still afraid to steek. So
it's okay. It's all good.
We'll get there.
It's all good. Just cut it. It all works out.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all we have.
Is it? Oh, it was a quick shout out.
It was.
I wasn't even thinking. I could have put on my hat that I did not knit.
But you know what? I bet there's a hat out there. I bet that hat lives on the internet. There's a pattern for it.
There probably is.
On Ravelry,
But I just bought it so I could remember to do a deep, because I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah.
And then I like that they did a pearl.
That pearl ridge helps it flip.
That helps it flip and stay flipped. I'm going to try that on my next hat.
I think you should.
I may do that.
Okay, I don't think we don't have any instruction. Oh, Tammy says, like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, all that stuff. You can find us on Instagram, same handle, KnittinJenna and the Crazy Cat Lady. You can find us on Ravelry. I'm KnittinJenna. She's Korhay.
There you have it.
That's it. If you have anything you'd like to see from us,
let us know.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I can't believe we came back for a 3rd time.
Yep.
Thank you to everybody who has subscribed, watched us. Thank you.
Yeah. 2 more episodes and we'll know what we're doing.
Maybe.
No. I said by episode 5. After episode 5.
Well, we'll let you know. If we don't get back before the Yarn Festival, we'll let you know how it was.
Yeah.
But Midwest Fiber Festival. Hey, don't be square. Be there.
We'll post stuff on Instagram. I'm not into trying to put pictures and stuff in here. That's too much work. Anyway, until next time.
Thank you.